Okay, we'll give it a second here. Let everybody pop on. Hello, everyone, and happy Monday. I'm meteorologist Mia Montgomery, joining you in the KSAT Weather Authority Center with, of course, a lot to talk about here as we track the cold weather that is very much in place here this morning. So we'll give it just a few more seconds. Let all the folks jump on the app wherever you are watching the KSAT Weather Authority app, the KSAT Plus app, YouTube. Thank you all so much for joining us here this Monday afternoon. Okay, so we know that it is a cold start to the week. Big difference. What a difference 24 hours makes, right? We had the cold front that moved in yesterday, sparked up some gusty north winds and opened the door for this Arctic air to surge into the region. We got down into the low 30s in San Antonio this morning. We had some 20s across the hill country. When you factored in the leftover breeze, though, we had wind chills in the 20s. We will warm up nicely this afternoon. Still below average and still chilly, but plenty of sunshine and highs closer to about 50 degrees. But this cold air, it is here to stay throughout the upcoming week. And in fact, the coldest morning I think that we have in the 7-day forecast right now is slated for early tomorrow morning. So overnight tonight, a hard freeze is possible in many locations as morning low temperatures dip down into the mid to upper 20s in several spots. We're still dry though. We're dry today. We're dry tomorrow. We have just a 20% chance for a little bit of light rain on Wednesday. Then we start to see better chances for some precipitation return to the forecast on Thursday. That's going to be the day to watch when it comes to the exact temperatures and if they can line up with a lot of that moisture, because we are expecting, at least odds are increasing for the chance to see a little bit of a wintry mix across the hill country, potentially as far south as northern Bexar County, along and north of 1604. A little bit of sleet, a little bit of freezing rain, not completely off the table during that time frame, and we'll talk about that in just a second. But I think if that verifies, we could see a few slick spots when it comes to those bridges and overpasses in those areas. As of right now for San Antonio, odds favor just a cold liquid rain for much of the Alamo City. Let's go ahead, though, and talk about tomorrow morning. So again, mid to upper 20s, certainly looking like a possibility by wake up time tomorrow. So essentially what we have in place, we have all this cold air in place already. Winds will continue to calm even more so later on today and especially tonight. We have clear skies in place during that time frame as well. So whenever you combine all of those ingredients together, that is what's going to allow those temperatures to tumble, falling very quickly. And yes, you probably took care of at least the sensitive vegetation, the potted plants, and giving your warm pets a warm place to sleep last night ahead of the cold temperatures that we saw this morning. But now if you have any exposed pipes, maybe those outdoor spigots, it wouldn't hurt to go ahead and cover those just to be on the safe side. But we could, at least officially here in town, get down to maybe 27 just before sunrise tomorrow. Into the afternoon tomorrow, though, just take a look at your temperature trend here over the next week. Here are your morning low temperatures. Here are your high temperatures. We will rebound nicely yet again to about 50 degrees by Tuesday afternoon. Very similar to what we've seen out there today and what we will see again tomorrow afternoon. Plenty of sunshine. And then the coldest of the daytime highs arrives Wednesday and into Thursday. That's because the sunshine goes away. We see plenty of cloud cover surge back in on Wednesday. That's going to hold high temperatures to the upper 30s. But something that I want to point out, looking at this temperature trend graphic here, is you can see that, yes, highs are expected to warm above freezing in the afternoons. And I think that's important. We do not equate this back to 2021 by any means, because we are not expecting an extended, prolonged duration of sub-freezing temperatures here in San Antonio. Yes, the coldest morning tomorrow morning, and still a few light freezes after that, But in the afternoons, at least here in town, we are expected to climb above that 32-degree threshold. So that is good news. It is still going to be cold. It is still going to be below average. Jacket weather all day, every day, and really big coat weather, especially in the mornings. And tomorrow morning as well, I know it's important because a lot of those school districts are still staggering their back to school start dates after the holiday break. So the kiddos headed out to the school bus stop. Even if you do drive them to school, just make sure that they are layered up correctly because it is going to be a bitter cold start. Then we start to introduce that chance for some precipitation mainly throughout the day on Thursday, potentially as early as Wednesday night, but mainly Thursday is going to be the day to watch. So let's go ahead and take a look at the big picture here. I want to show you, you can see just by looking at this map at temperatures across the United States, how much United States real estate is being impacted by this Arctic air that's been surging in from the north. We're talking teens right now for places like Minneapolis, Minnesota, Omaha, Nebraska, 18 degrees right now. It's 12 degrees in Wichita, Kansas, 34 in Abilene. During the noon show, they were at 32. So now they're at least above the freezing threshold. 45 still below average, but not as bad as this morning here in the Alamo City. Here's the low pressure system that dropped that cold front into our neck of the woods yesterday. What helped kick up that gusty north wind as well. By the way, mountain cedar is also elevated today as a result. Those winds were able to blow in a lot of that pollen in from the hill country. So if you're impacted and affected often by mountain cedar, I'm sure you are feeling the impacts of that today. But low pressure system, the parent area of that now moving across the Ohio River Valley. There's some snow up that direction where temperatures are cold enough. Actually, some winter storm warnings in place. Southern Ohio, parts of Kentucky, stretching over to the mid-Atlantic states, and a few winter weather advisories surrounding that in purple. So again, this is affecting a good chunk of the lower 48. We will stay dry tomorrow. Here's Tuesday, late afternoon, 5:15 p.m. heading into the early evening. You can see clear skies still in the forecast, so we'll see plenty of sunshine. Watch how quickly that changes, though, by Wednesday. This is 5 p.m. The cloud cover has already surged back in. That's why high temperatures will not be as warm. Upper 30s expected by Wednesday afternoon. We do have a 20% chance to see a little bit of light precipitation, mainly out west, across the southern Edwards Plateau, potentially into the hill country. We'll keep tabs on that, but I think anything that we see Wednesday will be relatively light, minimal to no impacts expected there. This is when that could change and what we'll need to monitor very closely. So this is Thursday morning at 5 a.m. So this is before the sun even comes up on Thursday. Basically what's going to happen, another low pressure system's going to be moving across Baja California, northern Mexico, and it's going to be bringing in Pacific moisture and upper level energy. All of that falling over this cold air that we have in place by that time frame. Odds here in San Antonio, as of right now, still pointing towards a cold liquid rain for much of Bexar County. However, you can see where we have this pink color. That includes the hill country, places like Kerrville, Bernie, Sisterdale, even Bandera, Medina, Lakey, Rock Springs. It is possible that temperatures are just cold enough, not just here at the surface, but also up to about 10,000 feet in the atmosphere, that we could see a little bit of sleet and some freezing rain transition over as a result of what that vertical profile of temperatures looks like above our heads. Now, if that were the case throughout the day on Thursday, even into the afternoon, starting to let up in the evening around dinner time, we would mainly need to monitor for bridges and overpasses to see if we couldn't find a few slick spots out there. So this is something to keep in mind if you live in those areas, if you have travel plans in those areas, and even across parts of I-35 up north. I know the Cotton Bowl happening later on this week. If you have plans to travel closer to the Dallas area later in the day on Thursday and even into the overnight early Friday morning, that's going to be something to check back in on. And that could even transition to some snow across the big country and closer to San Angelo. Maybe could we see a rogue snowflake on the backside of this across the hill country? Sure, not completely out of the question here. But again, this is really going to be the question mark and what we'll need to keep tabs on throughout the day on Thursday when it comes to a few slick spots possible on those bridges and overpasses in the hill country and as far south as northern Bexar County. I also do want to point out that we're still about 4 days away from this time frame. So with winter weather forecasting, oftentimes the day before, 2 days before, that's when we really start to get a clear picture and a good snapshot of what those impacts could look like for our area. So yes, prep for the cold throughout the rest of the week, and do know that Thursday is likely going to be at least damp and chilly. And then we'll need to really fine tune those details when it comes to any potential wintry weather impacts around that time frame in the hill country. Notice by Friday 7 a.m. though, this is a very progressive system. It looks to track east of the area very quickly, and we perhaps could see a little bit of sunshine return by Friday afternoon, helping high temperatures warm a bit more compared to what we'll see Wednesday and into Thursday. We'll of course continue to keep you posted, all the platforms on air, online, and on our KSAT Weather Authority app as well. In the meantime, after starting off in the low 30s here in town officially this morning, look at all that sunshine. Beautiful. We're in the mid 40s right now, so warming up. Still below average, and that's going to be the case into this afternoon. Here's a look at your KSAT 12-hour forecast through the rest of the day. Again, we've got a forecast high right around 49 degrees here in San Antonio. If you have any Monday evening plans outdoors, bundle up. Temperatures are going to fall very efficiently, especially after the sun goes down. Again, clear skies, calm winds, cold air, the perfect kind of ingredient list to come together for these temperatures to fall off. We're already around 34 degrees by 11 p.m. and then those temperatures falling into the low 30s and even some upper 20s expected by early Tuesday morning. So again, make sure that the pets have a warm place to sleep. Make sure that you are bringing in that sensitive vegetation, potted plants, covering them up. Hopefully you did all that yesterday. But if you have any exposed pipes, outdoor spigots that you want to go ahead and cover up, that's a good idea just to be on the safe side as well. Again, tomorrow morning looking to be the coldest morning that we have on this extended forecast here. Plenty of sun, still dry out there tomorrow. Chilly in the afternoon. The sun will help like today, but if you're in the shade, a lot of times that cold can kind of get you. We'll be right around 50 degrees Tuesday afternoon too. The cloud cover quickly working back in on Wednesday. High temperatures cooler as a result. We're talking upper 30s by Wednesday and Thursday. Thursday is the day to watch when it comes to any precipitation chances and yes, the potential for a little bit of wintry weather across the hill country. Then we're drying things out already by Friday, starting to warm things up, even though a few more morning light freezes not ruled out into Saturday, then really into the second half of the upcoming weekend, warming up even more so, upper 50s, and that trend looks to continue at least into the early portions of next week. I hope this was helpful, just kind of giving you a little on-the-go forecast here as we continue to monitor the ever-evolving situation here with this cold air in place. Of course, as I mentioned, we will continue to keep you updated on the latest on air, online, on your KSAT Weather Authority app, and meteorologist Adam Caskey will be back today at 5 with the latest as well. Have a great rest of your Monday and stay warm.